always had that problem. Thank you for the introduction. Like you said, my real name is Nathaniel Pineda, but don't worry about that. First, for starters, I wanted to say, hearing a thank you from me is pretty much like having a good deed and just hearing it and you brush it off because you don't know who I am. So my goal today to you is to show you a little story about myself and explain to you how much this opportunity I've had really means to me. For starters, I come from a family of 9. And I know nowadays, it's a small family, so it gets worse. I'm an uncle of 8 nieces and nephews, and just try imagining that for any occasion. It's intense. But it gets worse. I am the middle child in my family, so I get picked on, and I can't pick on the little ones because the older ones are there to beat me up. And it still happens. With that being said, it was really tough. It still is. I come from a family with 3 older brothers and sisters who live off my parents. And they have their kids that we have to support. And seeing that, it made a big impact in my life because there was always a negative vibe. I had an older brother who thought graduating high school was more than enough and was just amazing. I had 2 older sisters who didn't even get to reach to graduate high school, and one of them has had their problems and another one's been locked up for half of my life, so I barely even know her. So, my dad and my mom had worked 7 days a week, and they still do, supporting my family. And as far back as I remember, age 11, we finally got our first business. My biggest thing was to help them every way I can. So the day I was able to look over the counter was the day I was able to talk to customers and charge myself. And it's just been great, like seeing my family just be happy to have a kid that will help them in any way possible. So my time came when I came across my first love, which was sports. And a little did I know that it was gonna open all these doors. You're talking to a kid who's never left basically the city as a senior in high school. The only time I left was for a state meet in Austin, Texas. So when I heard the phone call from Coach Turner telling me that he'd fly me into Houston just to come in for a visit, it was breathtaking. I was just like, oh my God, I get to fly. The best part about it was free. Of course, my parents wanted me to stay in San Antonio because I was the one kid that kept that family together. And it was tough. And still to this day, it is tough when I talk to them on the phone. I'm like, hold on, I'm almost done, just give me a couple months. I'm finally gonna be able to graduate. But with that being said, every athlete in here has a hard story. And they don't want to go back to that. And experiencing, never leaving the city, and now I've gone to pretty much every state in this country and gone overseas. We had a race in Puerto Rico just last year. And it's just memories like that just makes me so blessed to have this opportunity that Ms. Billings was able to leave for me. And unfortunately, the scholarship was named after a man who's passed away, which is probably one of the best smilers that this school will ever have. He was the first Texan to break 4 minutes in the mile, and I know that he was a great man because he still to this day, like from athletes before me and to the next ones after me, this opportunity that you gave to me, sorry. I'm eternally grateful. biggest goal is not to get emotional. But this opportunity that I've had has let me put a great chapter in our family. And I say that because I have a little brother who got into distance because of me and the success and the happiness it's brought to my family. And my little brothers under him are doing the same thing because they see what I've done and what my little brother is doing. It just makes me real happy seeing that, you know, high school is just not enough. From the area that we were raised, and from my parents speaking in general, my sophomore year of high school, if you would have met me, I would have told you college was never part of my plans. My goals was just to keep working, you know, and just eventually leave off, move on. But with this scholarship, and this goes, excuse me, this goes for everybody, every donor in this room, that this opportunity that you made for me is the same thing for every athlete in this room. And I speak on behalf of every athlete in this room that words will never explain how grateful we are for this opportunity you bring for us. And go Cougs.